So yeah, pin sheared out or gears messed up. We're about to find out. Go. Yep, the gear's worn. Yep. Flat wore the gear off.
On one side.
Interesting. So I finally had time to check this over better, and if you look, all the teeth are worn greatly. These are just the ones that finally gave up the ghost. Here's where working by yourself gets a little more difficult sometimes. So I need to put a wrench on the crank pulley. I need to rotate the crank while I have my finger on the #1 plug that you can't even see. The plug I got out, the hole is right there. So I need to put my finger on that plug hole and listen for or feel for compression coming up, so I know where to stop my timing marks, so I can get top dead center, so I can drop my distributor where it goes. Got all that? So I'm gonna give that a shot. See if I can find a place to put you so you can watch.
Let me throw this one.
Doesn't help that I'm standing in oil. This one's a little shorter, but it's an impact socket, so it doesn't fit quite as tight. Because it's an old wore out impact socket. I could take the valve cover off and watch the valves, but you know, that's just something else I got to take off. So keep trying this way here. Feel a little air. So I'm getting there. I'm hoping that you can hear it. So just me feeling it. So I'll keep my thumb over it. You're not going to be able to hear it. I'm almost there. That's my 0 there. I went and by it just a little bit. So now I'm going to back it up so I'd really probably get by without it, but perfect. If anybody ever wants to send me tools, you know, shoot me a message. I'll shoot you an address to send them to, because, you know, I don't want to say mine are crap, but I've been using a lot of the same tools for 30 freaking years. They're just worn out, and I hate to buy new ones. So, you know, that's what happens. Anyway, so I'm on top dead center, number 1. Put the spark plug back in, and put the wire back on, and I can get ready to set my distributor. So there's my number 1 cylinder mark. That's where I'm trying to land to. I probably need to start dropping it in somewhere over here. And then I also check to see where my oil pump drive is going to land, and tried to turn the oil pump drive to where I think it needs to be. Hopefully that will make it as easy as possible to drop this distributor, and it'll go all the way flush, and we'll be good. And I'll feel confident that I'm on number 1 and compression. Should be able to put the new cap on, put the wires on. 1843652. Bam. Should be good. But yeah, we'll find out. Not sure what all you can see. You're sitting on a holly. So let's turn this where it needs to be. Turn you about there. And start going to down. Not fall all the way. There she goes. She fell all the way in. But she's about a tooth further than what I want. So that's going to put my rotor that's better. That puts me so what I was doing before, it was over here further, so that means I'd have had to move this a lot more one way or the other. And I know where I had it at. It was about in the middle for my advance, which left me room to move if I needed to. So so I picked it back up, moved it 1 tooth, and dropped it back down. She looks like she's setting pretty flush. It's hard to see down there. Needs some light, but yeah, pretty flush. So all right, let's get that lock bolt started snug, you know, so I can still move it, and cap on, wires on, and let's fire this baby up. All right, when you got something like this that happens, you're always worried about 2 things. One, did I get the distributor set correctly? So it fires up, doesn't backfire, and runs right? Number 2, because I had a backfire going down the road, pretty good backfire, you're always worried about a power valve on a Holly. So hopefully that'll leak fuel and make it run bad, which I mean can be fixed. I mean, it's just replacing the power valve, but hopefully I didn't blow it out, and we're getting ready to try to fire it up, and hopefully everything's all good. All right, you got about as good a seat as I can give you. I'm just going to reach in the car for a second, see what it sounds like. Oh yeah, plenty of spray. Look like I got her about right. I don't know. We might have a low power valve out of it. More timing. So there we go. She's covered with dust because we've been sanding here today doing some other projects, and got the distributor all together. Everything's running. So time is set. I set it. I go 36 degrees. It's low compression, 350, naturally aspirated. So 36 degrees of total advance. See where that leaves my static timing, which is no vacuum. My base timing. And my base timing ended up about 15. I can live with it. That's fine. It shouldn't crank over too bad. When it's hot summer, maybe it'll hit a little hard, but ought to be about right. So anyway, and oh, here, I'll show you this real quick. You want to see an ugly motor? I hate to say it's ugly. Yellow is just not my preferred choice, but he said he wanted it yellow. Yellow it is. That'll be an upcoming video. Maybe not so much the build, because I'm lazy. I didn't feel like it. I don't know. But maybe dropping it in the car and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Redneck Muck, peace.